So we are primarily a daily email. We do have a blog. This is our site. We put stuff up on it that doesn't appear in the email. We try to post regularly, try to do 2 or 3 posts a day. On the blog, it's mostly, smaller stuff, reviews, previews of events, funny cat videos on Friday afternoons often. But the emails are the sort of crux of our traffic and our audience and our content, which is also a different, it gives you a sort of different business model to work with too. I would like to echo what Jonathan was just saying. I'm terrible at sales. Doing display ad sales is really, really time consuming, especially in a local market where you have to convince every advertiser, hold their hands to design, and it's hours and hours, and it's a really, it's a relationship you have to develop that takes a lot of time for not a ton of money. And we have in the past tried to live off of advertising, and that's been a very lean living. So as you can see, we still do it. This is an ad that came, I think that's Bowery Presents, which is actually that type of advertiser. That's a local, or city advertiser, not a national advertiser like, say Budweiser. That's who our favorite type of people to do business with is, because they're very easy to work with. They're willing to, they don't blink an eye when you tell them what the rate is going to be. But it is hard to zone in on those people. It's hard to get them. But so as an email, in our traffic to our site it's not super remarkable. It's under 100,000 uniques a month. But our email list is it's around 25,000 subscribers, which is a very engaged audience. They open the email, they click on the ads. If you put an ad in the email, the thing that we have been doing in terms of advertising dollars the most lately is dedicated emails, and that's it's our way of saying here's some advertorial, which I've worked in advertorial for most of my career somehow, some way. I've worked in newspapers as a designer and as a writer and as an advertorial writer off and on. So it's something that I feel like I understand pretty well, and it's something that I think is really on the rise. And BuzzFeed is they call it a variety of different things, but it's advertorial if you have sponsored content. So we choose those very carefully, because if we choose if we wrote an advertorial about how great Budweiser is, half of our list would unsubscribe and be like, screw you guys, we're going home. We will subscribe to one of the other emails that's out there that's not sending us an ad about how you should drink Budweiser. But our readers not only open, respond to, and are enthusiastic about an advertorial that we send from BAM about an upcoming show. They're way into it and will comment on it and treat it like real content. So that's the sort of you have to understand your readers and find the right advertising matches for them. That is also the right sort of time investment for the money for you, which is something that we have struggled to do over time. To give you a little bit of background, we've been around for, I guess it's 6 years now. I have a business partner. It's just the two of us plus a part-time editor and then a dedicated team of freelancers who run it. She started it about 6 years ago now because she was working as an arts editor at a newspaper and wanted to get into the digital world, and decided that email was an interesting place to start with that, and also wanted to be reporting on Brooklyn, which she was not doing, and she was living there. So I came on, I was writing for her a lot, and then I came on as a partner about, I guess it's 5 years ago now, but we both did it part-time for a really long time. I was teaching here and working as an editor for a variety of other places and freelancing all the time, and she was freelancing also and having kids and moving to London and doing all these things and then moving back. And then so now since January of last year, we've been doing it full-time. And the same thing as what Jonathan was saying about Brown Center. We've gone through all these different phases. At first we were like, events are going to be the thing. We're going to make a ton of money doing that. Well, that's the same thing as advertising. You have to choose your events so that they match your readers and people, so you can use your platform as a way to promote them and get those readers and monetize them, which is something that I hate saying. Like, just the word monetize is such crappy jargon, but you know, it is like, you're making money off of what you love to do. So, and so we at first did a ton of events, and we were like, oh yeah, this is going to be the way. This is going to be the way to make money instead of doing advertising, because we're really bad at that. We're good at throwing fun events. We're bad at selling ads. But it turns out events, if there's anything that's more of a time sink than selling ads, it's putting on an event and just breaking even on it, or making like $100 or making $200. So that was something we had. That was a strategy that we had to really rethink. And so now, where we are now is we have a mix of things. We sell ads, and that's probably, these are highly unscientific numbers. I'm just sort of like off the top of my head, but I think they're going to be pretty accurate. I think ads, if you count advertorials, which we charge a lot of money for, are probably about 30% of our revenue. Events are probably 45, and then partnerships are the remaining, that would be what, 25? So our events now are very targeted and very focused to our readers. We do a big event in March called Wedding Crashers, which is a wedding fair. We get vendors, and we also sell tickets. We're doing it, for the first time ever, we're doing 2 this year. We're doing another one in September. And then we have another new event that is too new for me to actually tell you what it is, because we don't have all the moving parts nailed down yet. But it also will be very targeted to our readers. So I would say, the real, and we haven't done this in a while, but the sort of turning point for us where we realized how to start to make more money was sending out a reader survey and understanding who was reading us, which helped us not only tailor our content more, but also to seek out the advertisers that would speak to our readers, so that our advertisers, there was a positive feedback loop, and to also create better events. So those are my pro tips. Anyone have any questions?
After that, we're going to do a quick lightning round of takeaways. If you think of a takeaway or two that you just
You mentioned 25% of your revenue is with partnerships. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so we have worked with, the most significant partnership we have today is working with the Brooklyn Brewery, which is a perfect partner for us. They're local, they're big enough to have budgets to do fun things, and they also have a really dynamic, young, creative marketing team that's interested in doing things more than placing print ads places. That's another thing I should mention, is that not only do display ads not work that well as a revenue model for the online world, I think that they don't work that well online for the advertisers themselves. I think that it's like every month that passes, it's fewer and fewer clicks. People are more and more irritated by things like popping up in their faces. They've just become, this Robert Plant thing. You wouldn't necessarily click on that. You're like, oh, okay, right, yep. It's noted in my mind, but I don't think the conversion rate on that is going to be great. I don't think a lot of people are clicking on that to buy tickets. And so, smart companies are really looking for, can you, using your brand and your readers, create an experience that has our imprimatur on it? So with the Brooklyn Brewery, we've done a series. This would be the 4th summer we've done them. We do a series of events called Immersions, where we pick 4 neighborhoods, mostly around Brooklyn. We've also done some in Queens, and create a day-long experience that is fueled by free Brooklyn Brewery beer for people who come out. So we run the whole thing, we market the whole thing, we set up all the deals for people, we choose the bars. And so what it does for Brooklyn Brewery is it puts our print of, hey, we're cool, we're not traditional, we're genuinely from Brooklyn, we have street cred, we have great readers who will come to any event that we do. We do the heavy lifting, but it also, there's a lot of politics in the beer industry in New York, and so we are able to, as Brooklyn-based, cut through that and get them into bars that wouldn't necessarily buy from them because you know, maybe they had a bad experience with a rep 5 years ago, or maybe they just don't like Brooklyn Brewery that much. But if we come in and we're like, we're going to deliver you 500 people on a Saturday afternoon, they're going to love this place. They're like, yeah, I'll try that. And chances are they'll order some more beer from them during the summer. So that, and they pay us to do that. And we present it as an event. So that's been like a great partnership for us, both in terms of creating something that our readers love and also monetarily.